So we are back on the set for, guess what, Dwayne? Should we try to do this together? The Wellness Effect. We never get this right. Anyway, and we're here, center stage, with the Executive Vice President and General Manager of Sagicor Life, Inc., one of our sponsors and part of our home here at the Wellness Effect. Right. Joining us for an exciting program. You do not want to miss this. Whether you're part of a large progressive organization like Sagicor and UWI, or you're maybe just an entrepreneur, right? Yeah. Get out there. You're going to hear so much about leadership and health right after this break.
So, welcome, Mr. Paul Inniss.
Thank you. Paul is fine.
All right, to the Wellness Effect. I want to have an opening question. I was shocked to learn that many organizations are still uninformed that Barbados now has a national workplace wellness policy. And I was wondering, from where you sit, why do you think promoting health and wellness is so important, especially from a leadership standpoint?
So when you look at organizations such as Sagicor, but any business, what is the main asset, the most valuable asset in an organization?
People.
What is the main or most valuable asset in society? People. So we spend a lot of money investing in maintaining machinery and equipment. But just think about a basic car. We love our cars, right? And we spend money maintaining, servicing, and ensuring that those cars are in good nick.
Right.
As the owner, I have a vested interest in ensuring, or as a leader, I have a vested interest in ensuring that those I lead and work with are in the best shape possible. And therefore, that is why it's important, because if you truly value and respect your people, those people that make your business a success, that turn up every day to do what is required to serve your customers and to move your company forward or your business forward, I think you have a responsibility to actually ensure that their wellness is your priority as a leader.
Like that responsibility. As they say, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
A famous quote.
Definitely. But but workplace wellness, Paul, is not easy. I mean, you've made this song, this is an easy transformation. It isn't. So how can you step back a bit? So Sagicor, you decided, well, look, we need to focus on people. We need to incorporate wellness. What are some of the strategies that you used that you can say in front of your competitors to bring about wellness within the organization?
Well, it'd be good to share it with competitors as well, because don't forget, our customers work for our competitors.
There you go.
And so we're a small nation, small society. And there's some things that I think we shouldn't compete on. Wellness, preventative care, the looking after our people is critical. So I think if you were to step back, if you look at our business, we are in the life and health business. So when you think of our vision, when you think of our purpose, so our purpose is providing wise financial thinking to those we serve for life.
For life.
So for life, our vision is to be a great company, improving the lives of those in the community in which we serve. So if you think about that actually is the genesis, and that informs everything I do personally as a leader. So when we think of how can we help people to improve their lives other than wise financial thinking, it is more, wellness is more than just financial, right? And as a matter of fact, we all know that if you don't have good health, well, wealth doesn't help you.
Yeah, true. There you go.
True. So we actually made a commitment that we will actually not only provide solutions for during and after life, but we will also seek to actually provide and partner with others to actually provide options and solutions for our people that would help them live a wholesome, healthy life. That is important to us, and we thought that we should start at home.
Right.
So from an employee perspective, we have within our marketing communications team, as well as our human resource talent team,
Right.
We actually pull some resources together in terms of brains, skill set, ideas, and so forth. And they've come up with a program, a wholesale program around how do we look after our people.
Right. Is that a Sagicor Care program?
Well, no. Well, Sagicor Cares is a community program.
Oh, right. So that's more, this is your
That's more
organization outreach.
But we have an internal.
Right. Okay. So what's that
Sagicor
about?
Cares.
The first customer.
Yes.
The employee.
Yes.
Yes. We don't have a name for it, and we probably should find a name for it. But we have a care program for our people.
For your staff. That's important because many organizations focus on the outreach, but they forget about the internal.
The internal customer.
Yes.
It's so important.
And we're doing a lot of work now to ensure that we have a program throughout the year, whether it relates to physical health, mental health, financial
health.
even in terms of planning for retirement, in terms
Very
of, we find that we don't care a lot in society for those who are differently able, whether you have autism or other issues. And some of the parents work at Sagicor. So we realized that we had to do something to help our people manage the stresses of life. And we now have a program that actually engage our people on a monthly basis.
And your programs have got several mini programs in it, because I've been kind of stalking you online, and you're on Facebook and Instagram.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, there are things like Wellness Wednesday, which is so
Wellness
exciting.
Wednesday, yeah.
Of course, there is the esteemed The Wellness Effect, Pause for Effect, right? Podcast, which we're doing here with partners Healthy Caribbean Coalition and the University of the West Indies. But these are also partners of Sagicor Life Inc., right? Like you have partnerships with HCC and UWI. So this isn't just a union of convenience. This is actually a solid union that has occurred here. I want to talk some more about some of the initiatives, the Wellness Wednesday, for instance, which...
I love the Wellness Wednesday.
There you go.
Tell us about it.
So when I joined Sagicor and I look at the work we were doing for our corporate clients, we had a nurse when I joined in 2020. And we thought by 2021, we started to think through a wellness strategy, a preventative care strategy for our corporate clients. Because we can see what is happening within those portfolios. We can also see what's happening to their employees. And I think that's where Sagicor Care was born, because we realized that we were providing benefits after the issue. And we said, no, we need to actually help people avoid the issue so that they can live the best life they can, and at the same time bring down the cost of insurance. So that was really the thinking behind that. And then when I engaged our nurse, Rosanna, she had some brilliant ideas around what we could do to actually widen and improve what we do on the wellness preventive care side. When she finished the strategy, I basically made a decision that one nurse couldn't do it. We needed two. And allow them to actually come up with the programs that are needed for our people. So one of the things that impressed me most when I came, I remember when I first met Rosanna, she turned up with a kit to assess me.
Wow.
Never happened in any workplace
I know Rosanna, that sounds exactly like her.
And she turned up every year since.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, Mr. Inniss, you have to schedule your assessment. And she assesses me, writes up, and then instructs me. Don't eat chocolate. You must exercise. Don't do this. You must do this.
She's quite regimental.
So what you're seeing now in terms of the work that they're doing and partnering with our Marcoms team and HR is really an evolution, is a journey in terms of the value that we can add in a practical way. We don't want to complicate it. We just need to understand where the issues are, what people need, and then provide for those needs.
I mean, very user-friendly marketing. I mean, your marketing team is quite intense. Actually, seeing them on social media and also experiencing them at the office. But what has also struck me is how much they respond to the current needs of society. So, for instance, screening for colon cancer,
yes,
as well as men's health, mental health, and I know that we're in Mental Health Month now. So, Sagicor actually doesn't just respond. We want to look at NCDs. It responds to the moment in time as society is all focusing on. I'm sure summer is coming up. Movement, and Sagicor will invite, I'm hearing pretty soon, the BDF boot camp here on the Wellness Effect, and we hopefully will have an opportunity to speak to them about their initiative.
Yes, yeah. I want to put out a challenge. I mean, so often we've been talking about employee wellness, but leaders themselves need to take care of themselves.
Correct.
How do you, as a leader, model self-care?
And Roseanne is watching.
So the nurse will be happy to know that 99% of the time I walk the stairs.
Wow.
And if you go and ask my staff behind my back, they'll tell you I walk the stairs.
Dwayne, did you walk the stairs coming down
I tell you how.
here? Okay.
And I think there are 4 flights
Wow.
of stairs. So I walk those stairs every day. And I do it because I need to.
Right.
Because the amount of sitting
do.
and so forth I do. I actually change my desk.
Good.
So I'm going to give you a little secret. So I have one of these desks that you can stand.
Standing desk?
Some meetings I do standing.
How have you found that? Because I've done a similar
I love
change.
it.
It is great,
I love it.
especially online meetings.
Wow.
And then if I'm in a very long meeting, I actually do push-ups
There you go.
in my office.
Yeah.
Keeping active.
Yeah,
And there are things like step machines you can use as well at your desk.
I'm not sure if we'll bring a step machine in my office, but and these are things people don't do, right? But I have I'm pretty regimented. So I would do on average 3 to 4 days a week cardio in the morning.
Right.
So I make sure at least I get in a 30, 40 minute walk. And then I'll try and do a gym at least 3-4 days a week. For resistance. And
So this is you at a personal level, and of course now everyone in the Sagicor universe is hearing this. But how much do you show this at work? I mean,
How visible is it?
How visible is it?
I guess you will have to ask the team because I don't turn up at work to be visible in that sense.
Right.
I can tell you that if I want to meet and talk to someone, they can tell that I do a lot of walking.
There you go.
So rather than sometimes call, I walk to you, have a chat. The Marcombs team will tell you that sometimes I go down there and pinch some chocolates they may have somewhere.
They're doing the thumbs up here in the studio.
But
some surprises, revelations.
so that's an example with them not knowing. I will walk to a particular team or department and engage with them, and that is probably modeling that. The second thing I would say is facilitating what is necessary for teams as well. So we started building out these green spaces. So if you were to come to our center at Lower Colma Rock,
Yes.
we have built out a green space there.
It's a nice space.
It is.
Yeah. I've crashed it a few times.
Yeah, it is a really
Very comfortable space.
quiet area, right? We're now doing the same thing at Wildy. So if you were to go to Wildy and see the work that we're doing there, there's a significant green space that we're now building out so that our people can have that outdoor. Because we recognize that being in an air-conditioned space is not necessarily the best.
The best, yeah.
1, 2, sometimes people want to change and they may do their best work when they have that flexibility.
And moving. Yeah.
And moving. So one of the things that I thought of doing is how do we partner with the Defense Force to probably put on a boot camp at Sagicor, whether it's at Wildy, for the benefit of our people, because then they don't necessarily have to go.
I think that'd be a great partnership, and I've heard through the grapevine that there is a upcoming boot camp sometime next month, BDF boot camp. That so there you go, and of course, Sagicor. Do you do anything for crop over by any chance?
Yeah.
No, I think from a part of our business does what they call Sober Zone.
Sober Zone.
I heard this yesterday in Trinidad. Sober Zone.
So Sober Zone, even the messaging is out there so that you can get the party atmosphere in a zone, because it's not authentic unless it's a zone, right?
Yeah.
But it's sober, so you're not getting intoxicated. You don't have to reach Spring Garden or what's it called, Mighty Grinder Highway.
Yep.
Those of you who are going to be visiting for crop over, you want to take in Mighty Grinder Highway, but you don't want to be intoxicated when you're there. You want to be completely sober and well hydrated. I also want to chat a bit more about Sagicor's strategic partnerships, because I mean, you, for instance, Paul, you sit on the National NCD Commission, and you're also partnering with Healthy Caribbean Coalition. So you're wearing several hats here.
All don't forget BCCI.
Of course, BCCI, and they're all related in some way to health.
True.
So it's impossible really to look at Sagicor and not think that you have a serious health agenda.
We do have a serious health agenda. I think when I look at Sagicor, we had, and I take this really serious, we have a responsibility given what we do, how the community has allowed us to build an organization this large that is now a global organization. And I'm serious about how we can help solve national issues, or how can we positively impact the environment that, you know, people feel empowered to live a much better, wholesome, healthy life.
Right.
I don't think it is okay to be a large financial organization in the health and life business, and you stay on the sideline and do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Right. So I think going back to the question around how leaders can actually demonstrate and exemplify the importance around healthy lifestyles and living, is to really lead. So, you know, my personal approach to looking after myself that people may not necessarily see is not necessarily because you don't want the whole country to be regimented.
Right.
But you want people to have a level of discipline.
Of course.
And care for themselves. That they will do the things that are necessary. So all we are trying to do is to ensure that we inform, that we partner with the Barbados Defense Force, the National NCD Commission, HCC, the University of the West Indies, the Barbados Chamber of Commerce, and see how we can influence
the community.
And get partnerships happening that would impact the national
health. So this all sounds quite scripted and academic, and Dwayne and I, we like academia. However, strategically, you literally are in the community. Like, you've got an outreach program, right?
They're practicing. Practicing.
Sagicor Cares.
Yeah, there you go. I knew we would get to it.
Yeah, Sagicor Cares. Sagicor Cares, again, is teamwork. So we talk a lot about, I tend to throw challenges out to the team, and the team will normally come up with ideas, and we will, probe them, challenge, and land somewhere. But where we land is always, how can we actually use our brand? How can we use our resources to actually do good work in the community, improve the lives of those in the communities? And one of the things I thought of was when I learned about the inability of some people, whether they're in St. Lucie, St. Andrews, St. Joseph, any one of our parishes, unable to get to a physician. Just for basic screening. And this came out of an initiative by the nurses called Know Your Numbers.
Wow.
So when they told me about knowing your numbers, I said, but it would be nice if everybody in Barbados knew their numbers.
Correct.
And out of that came Sagicor Cares. And then we said, well, we can't do it alone. We need partners. We need a number of people that will be able to help us reach and provide the necessary resources. And we were happy that we were able to find partners in the Barbados Defense Force. There's Ross University. There's the
Barbados Cancer
Society. There's the Colon Association.
Colon Cancer Association.
We have the University of the West Indies.
We have flashed up on the screen behind.
Yes, we have the Ministry of Health.
Ministry of Health, yes.
Because when the Minister of Health found out and he learned about the program, he was just ecstatic that a private organization or organizations outside of government were actually coming together.
So how community-based is the community outreach project? Like, do people in communities, do they come to Sagicor branches? Do you go into the community?
No, we go to them.
You go to the community?
We go to
where
them.
they are.
Yes.
Where they are.
So the whole idea is we know everybody can't get to a clinic or a doctor or to Sagicor.
Yeah.
So one of the benefits we have is we invested heavily in a medical unit, a mobile
unit. Wow.
And that is where the nurses do their thing, right?
Yeah.
One of our nurses, Nurse Rosanna, used her initiative a couple years ago, I think 2 years ago, and came and said she wants to actually continue her education and become a community nurse. Well, we gave her the time to go and do it.
That's good.
Yeah. And with the guarantee that her job will be there for her when
caring for your employees.
So again, the investment in someone that they can actually come and apply it to the work. So we actually, the whole idea is every month we want to be able to go into the community, different areas of Barbados where people congregate, and actually encourage them to basically know the numbers. Yeah, come and have a discussion with us and the medical teams that partner with us and the various service providers, because there are several service providers that partner with us, and come and have a chat, get yourself assessed, and at least get to know what position you're in.
So I am thinking there might be a special crop over edition coming up, not saying anything of the community outreach. But before we go to a break, we've had such an exciting conversation here about not just the impact of personal commitment to leadership and personal lifestyle change in health, but how you influence an organization, secondly, and then how the organization influences the community that it serves. I mean, so all three steps. You don't want to miss this when we come back. Get some water, get some steps in, and think about how you can get some community engagement in as well in your workplace.
Yeah.
Did you know that the average person breathes about 25,000 times a day?
Yes, girl. Our lungs work tirelessly every day to keep us alive.
Yep, they're responsible for supplying our bodies and our organs with the oxygen we need to survive and function.
That's why protecting them is key.
So just let's tell our wellness oriented community some ways they can keep their lungs healthy.
First and foremost, regular exercise. Physical activity strengthens your lungs, improves oxygen flow, and helps clear your airways. You don't need to do intense workouts, but simple activities like walking or swimming are excellent choices.
Staying hydrated is a good way to keep your lungs in shape. Drinking plenty of water helps to thin the mucus in your lungs.
Good lung health also means staying on top of any respiratory conditions or illnesses. Remember to wash your hands frequently to reduce the risk of contracting any respiratory illnesses.
If you experience any symptoms of persistent coughing or shortness of breath, make sure to consult your healthcare professional. Early intervention is key to managing any respiratory condition before it gets worse.
Avoid smoking. We should all know by now that smoking is the leading cause of lung diseases, including COPD and lung cancer. If you smoke, now is the time to join a smoking cessation program, and quick.
And finally, eat foods that are high in vitamin C and antioxidants, found in a wide variety of your fruits and vegetables.
Remember, healthier lungs means a healthier life. Thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
So, Paul, we've been talking a lot about what Sagicor is doing by way of the health and wellness initiatives. But I want to hear your views on the impact of those health and wellness initiatives on staff's productivity, their financial independence, and some other areas, even their mental health.
So I'll start by giving you a real life example of something I witnessed, ended up participating in. So we actually, there was this, I think a year or so ago, sneaker day. And we encourage our teams to wear sneakers.
Yeah.
And then we thought, we're just not going to do it for a day in a year. We're going to do it every Friday. Right? So we selected a day. And the whole idea was to get people moving. the teams working on my floor made a decision that they would only wear the sneakers, but they started a 10-minute a day exercise routine.
Wow.
And various people every day, someone had to lead that 10-minute session of exercise. And it just got greater and greater, and more people started to participate. So I think people can have fun while they work.
True.
And what we've seen is they're happier. Two, they become more productive in that the benefit of exercise and the benefit of doing it together as a team.
Collegiality.
Yes,
Teamwork.
camaraderie. So if you want to build a team, and I always go back to the Army, right? If you look at how Army build units, there's a lot of collaboration, partnership. True. And I think if more companies were to think about the military model, I think we will probably have yes.
Yeah. It sounds like you're throwing out a challenge to companies.
Yes, I am throwing out a challenge to companies because fit people, and think about the Army again, they do the ultimate in terms of defending and dealing with life and death issues.
True.
Yeah.
We can get in our car and go home at any day, even if we made a mistake. But when they go to battle, in the same way we go to battle at work, is a different. So the discipline, but what it does, it makes them strong. They're healthier, and I tend to relate that to work. So if we can get programs that allow our people to be healthy, live a life where you can prevent illness and disease, it would more than help with productivity. It would definitely help probably with the finances. Not probably, it will help with the finances.
They spend less money on problems.
If you are healthy, you're then able to spend your resources on something that you would enjoy more. I guess you have more energy for your family, so you'll be able probably to do community work and do those things that are necessary to build family and community in terms of how we volunteer and that type of stuff. So you cannot not ignore, or you can't ignore the contribution that health for workplace or in the workplace does for your people. And I think society as a whole becomes a happier place, right?
True.
Societal benefits. So I mean, it's quite interesting because for this podcast we've been speaking about organizational behavioral change and how you can make the organizational landscape healthier, because it goes back to the ethos we started this podcast series with. We are as healthy as where we live, and we spend quite a lot of time at work. If the work environment is unhealthy, there's a pretty high chance, and it goes into school. If the school environment is unhealthy, then kids are going to be unhealthy as well.
But there's a crossover with the home environment as well.
There you go. But now Sagicor has made this contagious in that they've tried to make now the community environment, bringing about that behavioral change of giving knowledge.
It's going viral.
So it's going viral. Are we allowed? Is that still cool? That's a Gen Zer. Is viral still cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they've now gone viral, and that makes it so much more likely to cause a national change. Along with this, you've also partnered with health stakeholders, so the HCC and the university, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. So these are the kind of partnerships that kind of formalize policy that changes the environment. So this has been really an exciting talk for us, because looking at a behavior of a company, you would never think that it can influence societal behavioral change. And that's something that's novel, I would think, in the Caribbean space.
And definitely Sagicor now as a model for its competitors, its suppliers, its other business customers to look upon them and to emulate a lot of the initiatives and behaviors that they demonstrate.
And I must say that we have quietly been approached by other organizations who are taking note.
That's excellent.
They are aware of what we're doing, and they're saying we want to partner. We want to join in the effort. We want to
create the model, the Sagicor model.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of sitting here on the couch, but of course, The next wellness effect will involve a bit more movement with the BDF and their boot camp. Today, we've been talking about leadership in health and transforming organizational behavior to change the health landscape within an organization like Super Sagicor. Can I say Super Sagicor? Let it go viral. As well as changing the community landscape to be healthier as well. This has been episode 4 of The Wellness Effect. Stay tuned. Get your sneakers on for episode 5 because there may be some movement. You heard it first. Stay tuned.